Ain't about your bread and I can't fuck with ya. I thought you was 100, but you showed me 50. You said you was gonna ride, huh? And the coupe that's parked outside, that bitch looks so expensive. I bet it cut your eye, huh?
Hey man, we got the criminal history of Polo G, man, you know what I'm saying? If y'all don't know, bro, I'm from around Chicago, so I grew up listening to Polo G. Polo G, one of my favorite rappers, you feel what I'm saying? Now, he has been quiet recently, bro. Like, Polo G been quiet for a hot little minute. We need Polo G back, bro. You know what I'm saying? Polo G, if you watching this, I need like 3 more albums, bro. No cap. Let's hop into this, though, bro.
Polo G is one of the hottest artists in the rap game right now, but having Billboard hits can't save you from the police. The rapper was recently arrested after a show in Miami for allegedly resisting arrest and fighting with a police officer. Let's take a look at the career and criminal history of Polo G up to this point and break down what really happened in Miami. Polo G grew up in the Marshallfield Garden Apartments of North Chicago. He was the second of 4 children and has 2 sisters and a brother. Polo came from a musical family, and both his mother and his older sister were talented singers. He started rapping at age 9, and growing up he was inspired by artists like Gucci Mane, Lil Wayne, Tupac, as well as Chicago artists like G Herbo and Chief Keef. Early on, Polo did his best to stay out of trouble, but growing up in the wild area of North Chicago, that became harder and harder as he got older. He grew up with both of his parents, and his mother tried hard to keep him away from the streets and focused on positive things like basketball and school. But he grew up just down the street from the Cabrini Green Homes, one of the roughest housing projects in all of Chicago. So it was only a matter of time before he got sucked into the streets. In high school, he always got into fights and was kicked out of 2 different schools. When he was 15, one of his close friends, T. Gucci, was killed, which hit him hard. In an interview, Polo said that Gucci's death changed his whole outlook on life.
That really like messed up my understanding. Like I ain't understand like how I'm only 15, my homie only 16 years old, and he, you feel me, died to gunfire. Like it really messed up my understanding.
And after that, he decided to get serious about his passion for music. But being a teenager with no other skills except rapping, Polo quickly realized that he needed a source of income to pay for the studio time. This is when he started hustling so he could support his dream and take it to the next level. One night, he snuck out of his house and went to a studio where he recorded his first few tracks. He started releasing music under the name Polo G after his favorite fashion brand and his dead homie Gucci. After graduating from high school, he briefly considered going to school for broadcasting. He planned on going to Lincoln University, then transferring to Clark Atlanta University. He wanted to attend an HBCU and become a sports broadcaster like Stephen A. Smith. But his passion for music was too strong, and he decided to stay in Chicago instead to focus on his rap career. He started releasing visuals to go along with his music, which earned him fans outside of his own hood. But as he started gaining more attention for his music, he also started getting deeper into the streets. While he would start achieving his rap dreams, he would also be in and out of jail for selling drugs and stealing cars. He wouldn't catch any serious cases, but he kept getting arrested back to back as he was trying to blow up with his music. On January 1st, 2018, Polo was involved in a car theft and high-speed chase with the police. He was in a stolen car with some of his friends when the cops tried to pull them over. They would end up crashing the car and all got arrested. Around that time, he also started abusing drugs like Xanax and ecstasy and had said that they were the only things that made him feel alive. Growing up in a neighborhood full of crime, poverty, and violence, plus struggling to make it as a rapper, all took a toll on him. So he turned to drugs to cope with that. But he also kept dropping music and his numbers just kept going up and up. He dropped a remix to the Lil Durk and G Herbo song Never Cared in 2018, which quickly went viral, getting more than 1 million views on YouTube. This track gained him a fan base all around Chicago, and rumors started that Polo G was going to be the next rapper to make it out of the city. But before he could really start to enjoy his success, he would get locked up again and serve some time in Cook County Jail. This made him really start rethinking his decisions because while his name was hot in the streets, he was behind bars, unable to capitalize off the success of his music. He spent this time writing more music and planning out his career path while locked up. This is when he started to adopt a more melodic flow that was different from the drill sound he previously had. After getting out of jail, he would hit the ground running and record some of the music he had worked on while locked up. He linked up with his old engineer, DJ Ayo, who had started making beats while Polo was in jail. He recorded one of the songs he wrote in jail over one of Ayo's beats, which seemed to flow perfectly. That track would become Polo's breakout hit called Finer Things. He dropped a video of the song in August 2018, and it got over 250,000 views in the first week. Finer Things brought his career to the next level, and he started getting requests for interviews and shows. But he knew that his career has to be strategic, or else he would end up as another one-hit wonder. He did have the city behind him, but he also only had dropped a few remixes and singles and didn't have any full-length projects to show his talents or establish him as a serious artist just yet. For his next single, he linked up with Bronx rapper Lil TJ for the track Pop Out. This was a smart move for Polo to make because it exposed his music to a whole new market in New York City. Lil TJ was at a similar point in his career, and both artists were able to expose their fans to each other's music. The New York drill scene is heavily influenced by Chicago, so it was a natural fit for both artists. The song blew up and peaked at number 11 on the Billboard charts. This led to offers from almost every major label, and he ended up signing with Columbia Records. He then released his debut project, Die a Legend, in June 2019, which featured both of his breakout singles and proved to the world that he was just not a one or two hit wonder, but a serious artist. It seemed like Polo was on top of the world, and he was on track to take over the rap game. But some of his old habits would catch up to him, and in August of 2019, he'd be sent to the hospital after overdosing on Xanax and ecstasy.
Doing drugs was so regular for me, it's like I damn near needed that to function throughout my day.
He posted a pic to Instagram of himself wearing a hospital bracelet hooked up to an IV with the caption, "I got a little too lit last night and woke up in the emergency room, almost lost my life." The drug addiction that he formed to deal with the pressures of the streets had followed him into the music industry and almost took his life. Polo got lucky, and after that, he quit both ecstasy and Xanax cold turkey. He had also just had his first child in July 2019, which was a boy. He told The Breakfast Club in a recent interview that the birth of his son was a big part of the reason why he decided to get sober.
Knowing that I got my son, that I gotta slow down off that. And that made me quit X and Xanax altogether.
He wanted to be a good role model to his child and be a responsible father figure, which is not easy to do when you're on hard drugs. But the hospital visit was just a temporary setback, and after being released, Polo was right back on his grind. He returned to the music in February 2020 with his track Go Stupid, featuring Stunna Vegas and NLE Choppa, produced by Mike Will Made It and Take Key. The song became his second hit on the Billboard charts and peaked at number 60 on the US charts. He followed up on the success of that single with his second studio album, The GOAT, on May 15, 2020. The album was a huge success and peaked at number 2 on the Billboard 200, with 10 songs on the project also entering the Hot 100. The album featured guest appearances from Juice WRLD, Lil Baby, and BJ the Chicago Kid, and sold the equivalent of 99,000 albums.
Hey, bro, I got to end the video, though, bro. Hey, shit. Interesting for real, but hey, I love y'all. God bless y'all. Y'all finna see y'all.
I got lean up in my shit. Hop in a coupe and not in the grip. I got your bitch riding past the drive. Ain't about your blood and I can